Excuse me. What does it mean to toe the line? Chloe.
Not to go too far over the edge.
What do you mean going over the edge?
I mean, like, not like to go too far.
Over what? You're using an idiom to explain another idiom. Owen. Risk it too much? Okay, basically, it's the imaginary line between what your parents said you could do and what will get you in trouble. So towing the line means don't cross that and get in trouble.
Oh, I get that picture.
All right. It made my skin crawl.
What? Wait, what?
What does it mean? Ooh, that makes my skin crawl. What does it mean if your skin crawls? Does it mean my skin is going bye-bye like a snake? What does it mean? What does it mean if your skin is crawling? Any guesses? What's your guess, Veronica?
That means like you get like goosebumps.
Goosebumps. It means goosebumps. Like seeing this picture made you all go, your skin crawled. I got all bent out of shape.
What's wrong with that dude?
That's what you say when you get too stressed. I went to pieces.
What is wrong with that kid?
That's what you say when you start to kind of freak out a little too much.
doll.
Okay, next one. There are so many crazy things I have to keep in mind. I sure don't want to accidentally leave my parts behind. Mom says, dear, it's time for school. Let's go or you'll be late. Then Dad says, just remember, son. Keep your head on straight. What's it mean if your parents tell you to keep your head on straight? What guesses do we have? Only 3 people have a guess? I'm sure you guys have guesses. Alea, what's your guess? Not lose your mind. Kind of stay focused, stay driven, know what you're doing. Stay on the path. Very good. So, these are all examples of idioms in this book. Do you have any questions about an idiom right now? Any questions? Okay, Jace.
I don't like that. They don't feel right. That's scary.
Well, that's the point of idioms, is to learn them. You simply have to, there's no way you can, oh, it's ready. All right, put your hands down. I'll answer questions later. To learn idioms, there's no trick you can use. Like with put your foot in your mouth, you guys were all making logical assumptions, but that's not how idioms work. They're sayings where the words don't mean what they say. So you just have to learn them over time and start to remember them. I remember for years always being confused because my dad would say, dollars to donuts, that's what happened.
What?
I was like, Dad, what is dollars, donuts? I don't get it. He's like, it's an idiom. It means it happened for sure. Dollars to donuts. And I just had to learn idioms. People just speak them. And when you go to a new country, they have their own idioms, and you just have to learn those idioms. So what we're going to do next, I'll answer questions in a moment. What we're going to do next is the activity, and good, we've got enough time for it. You are going to help create your own book. Now, I'm going to give you an example of one, but I'm not going to show you the whole book because I don't want you to copy their ideas. One year I had a class do this, and you guys are really focused, so I'm going to have you do this too. They created a book called My Dad or My Mom Said.
Was that glass?
No. Okay, don't worry about it.
Where was the pumpkin?
This one was called My Dad Says, Don't Look a Gift Horse in the Mouth.
Wait, what?
We'll talk about what that means in a second. So, what the students did is they all had to pick something they have their mom or their dad said, and they had to write it down and draw a picture for it. And then we put them all together in this book. You guys are going to get to make one of these books, but I'm not going to show you their book till you finish yours. Otherwise, you can copy them.
Do you sign your name on the back?
We'll do that at the very end. Don't worry about that right now. Yes.
Like, who's like doing like the front cover?
We'll worry about that at the very end. We'll pick who does the front cover at the very end. Yes.
One day, the funny part in the book is when the teacher said, eyes on me, and they all squirt their eyes on me.
That was a good one. So, you're going to create one. So right now, first things first, I want everyone to take a moment and think, what are some idioms you've heard your parents say? We're going to put some ideas up here on the board. What are some idioms you've heard people say, or ones you can remember from the book, or ones you say? Let's get some ideas. Aiden. Get your mind in the game. Or do you mean your head in the game?
Yeah.
Get your head in the game. What are some others we can think of? Catalina.
Money doesn't grow off trees.
Money doesn't grow on trees. What are some more idioms we can think of? Sienna.
Mind
What?
reading.
mom says to mind her, mind me. Dylan?
When she says, I forgot.
That's okay, let me know if you remember. Chloe?
Shut up.
That's a little bit different. That's not so much of an idiom, that's more of a phrase that got shortened over time. But a good idea. Veronica?
Lock your lips.
Lock your lips.
Oh no.
Zip it. Lock
Zip it. Zip it's an idiom. Yes. Owen?
You are a bookworm.
What?
Bookworm.
You are a bookworm.
What does that mean? It means you read books all day. Like
You're stuck in a book. Yes.
sleeping like a log.
Sleeping like logs. That is actually a simile, and we will talk about what that is later on. Very good, though. We will talk about that later on. Yes, Rebecca. Zip it, lock it, put it in your pocket. That's more of a phrase, but zip it is part of that. Zip it, when someone tells you to zip it, that's an idiom. Catalina?
I'm on cloud 9.
Cloud 9. I'm on cloud 9.
I have one, but I'm not going to share it because I don't want people to
That's okay. Leah?
all in the same boat.
All in the same boat. Okay, so what we're going to do today, you are going to take a moment and you are going to do, I'll get more examples in a moment. Okay.
It's like, it's supposed to be, don't crash and burn.
Don't crash and burn.
Don't crash and burn.
Crash and burn.
No, crash.
Okay, so what we're going to do is today you are going to do your rough draft of your drawing. So on a sheet of paper, you're going to write down the theme that your parent says. You're going to either say mom says or dad says. Draw a picture as if it was literally happening like they did in the book, where they drew foot in the mouth or eyes on me. So draw a picture of it if it was literally happening. Shh. And then today you're going to go home and you're going to, You're going to go home and you're going to make a nice copy of it at home. So today I want to help you get the spelling on it right and just sketch your idea, but then when you go home, if you need to borrow a sheet of paper from me, you may. When you go home, you're going to spell it out really nicely in your best penmanship. You're going to draw your best picture and make sure it looks really good because it's going to get laminated. And everyone's going to get to read it, and you want it to look good. You don't need to be stressed about it, but just do your best. So in class, we're going to do a rough draft to make sure you've got all the spelling right and you've got a good idea, and then you can go home. If you go home and change your mind, and you're like, actually, I want to do this one instead, is that okay? Yes.
It hasn't been laminated.
But make sure your parents help you get all the spelling right, and then it looks great.
I
Yes.
like, if it's okay with you, could they type it instead of writing it?
If you would like to type it, you may, but if you don't have a way to type it at home and print it, then do spell it.
My dad.
Okay, if you can print it at home, then typing's fine. But if you don't have a way to type it and print it at home, then it's okay, just use your best penmanship. Yes?
Is an idiom rough draft like a rough draft?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Rough draft. I have to look. I don't think it is, because draft means a version, but it's close. It's close to that. It's close. Okay. Other questions? Yes.
What if I don't have one?
If you don't have one, well, luckily for you, I'm going to play the rest of this video, and it might give you some ideas.
Don't say idiom.
Shh. And it might give you some ideas. Yes, Catalina.
Maybe rough draft is a simile.
We'll talk about that later. It's not a simile. We'll talk about it later. Okay, so I'm going to play this video. If you get to the end of today and you absolutely cannot think of one, then when you go home, you may ask your parents what is an idiom they say. But if you can think of one, go ahead and write it down today. So, paper students, when I say go, I want you to give everyone a sheet of paper. We don't need colored pencils because, again, this is just our draft. We're just sketching it and writing it. Shh. So paper students are going to give you your sheet of paper, and we're going to have just about 6 minutes to do our rough draft. Again, we want to get the spelling right on this, so do the spelling first and then the picture. Any questions? Okay, paper students.